It's January 21st and I'm up here in Mike Vititow's, and we're going to open this hive up and see how the brood chamber's looking.
Yeah, once you go on the other side over there, just stand right on the other side there. All right, now that comb there, that's the number 10 or number 1 or number 10 comb, and it's empty on food. This hive needs to be fed according to that, but we're going to see something just a little different here as we move on in here, because I don't think they ever filled that one out last fall. I don't think. All right, now. See that hive there, that comb is 95% full of capped honey or capped corn syrup. Those bees don't need to be fed. But I will give them some stimulant feeding here, probably the end of this next month, maybe. Combs are stuck together. Bad combs. There will be no brood on these combs here. The queen is not up in here. But that's what I'm looking for. I'm hoping to see a little bit of brood. See how that comb got drawn out there? When they didn't draw the foundation out correctly, that comb there will get moved to the outside here to be replaced this next spring. That's a bad comb. See, that comb is completely full of honey. That's the way it should have went into winter. And like I say, the bees are just now starting to move up out of the bottom super. And I'm not going to dig any deeper in them right now. I'd love to see the queen right now, but it's not. Seeing that queen is not all of that important, but I do know by the size of the cluster of bees I have here that I am in good shape. See that hive beetle that was there from last year? He dead in there. But a hive beetle does winter with your bees.
We open another box. We're gonna go in the brood chamber on this one.
Try to.
Is that them Swiffer pads you talking about?
That's them Swiffer pads, yes. That's Swiffer pads. I put them on there. These particular ones.
What's them yellow strips, Mike?
That's those Apostan strips. All they are paperweights right now. That's all they are. I put them on there for hive beetles, okay. And I can't see that they've done a thing for the hive beetles. But these Swiffer pads have done more good than anything. Hear that sound? Put your ear down there. Hear how they sound?
Yeah.
They're happy. Them bees are happy. If you find one, you do that, and if they don't have a queen or something's going wrong in the hive, you do that, they'll make a whole different sound than that. Something's wrong. More times than not, they're queenless.
Okay.
Is more times than not is what it is.
So they tell you what's going on.
Yeah, in a way they will. But anyway, I put these on her late. I don't mind there's won't be any beetles in here, I don't think, because all the beetles went down with the bees, or in the winter.
It's 2 hive bodies as high as you go.
Yeah. That one behind you, as you see, is 3. But what that is, that top box on that was a dead out last fall. The bees had died, and I put it up on there because I didn't want the wax moths to get in it. And the bees will take care of it. And this next spring, I'll break it off there and make a division. Okay. So.
I like that handle on your smoker. My smoker don't have one. I got to set it on the ground.
Yeah, or put it between your legs and it burns you. Burns your legs. Yeah. As you can see, these bees here don't need any feeding whatsoever.
We got plenty left over, huh?
Yeah, but now these Russians, that's the way they are. They don't eat much during the winter, but when they start to raise and brood, they'll go through a lot of honey quick. You got to be real careful. You may even have to feed them. These here, I don't, but I am going to feed them a little bit of, just stimulant feeding. Maybe get that queen to laying. Maybe a little earlier, because I've got a few people that wants divisions and things like that, and
they just ain't kept off.
Yeah.
Kept it.
Probably was never kept last fall. And this is not a strong colony by no means. Yeah, this is by no means a strong colony.
Well, they got plenty of food.
Yeah. Like I said, you can look down in there, and even in that bottom box, I'm not seeing a lot of bees in there, so it's telling me that this is a weak colony. But you tell me what you can do about them this time of the year. There's nothing that you can do. They are what they are, but what I'll do, hopefully, if the queen is still good in there, I will feed them a little bit and get her going, and this will be a prime one to requeen. Should have been requeened last fall, but you know, everybody, we all don't do what we're supposed to do. And that Ricky, if you get into it, that requeening, and I don't do it, but requeen every fall, y'all too, yeah. And I can show you a method. I've kind of thought about a method of requeening that I ought to be able to do it real easy.
So queen's life is only good for 1 year, really?
Yeah, books will tell you they used to queens. No, they'll last longer than that, but they're not good. They're not. They're going downhill all the time.
So a year-old queen is your most productive.
It's the most productive, right? And a year-old queen don't swarm. They don't swarm near as bad. And if you don't want swarming, put you a new queen in there, and odds are they don't. You know, your percentages of swarming are greater or less, however you look at it. They don't swarm as bad. If you do your part and keep them room to. These are some lids I make them myself.
Yeah. And
I used to make them and take that trim cord, trim your house out with, make tops. That piece of aluminum there was a print off back when the newspapers, when they set type and all that stuff, that's aluminum. But the best I've seen so far is at Vantech subflooring.
Huh.
Cut it, paint it, and run it 5 or 6 years, however long it lasts, throw away and make you another one.
Yeah.
And they don't, that wood don't sweat near as bad as this stuff here. Aluminum sweats a lot worse.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about the fiberglass tops?
Money. You know what they cost.
Okay.
You know, these those plastic tops.
Yeah, that's a plastic one. Yeah.
They're good. You know, there's not a thing wrong with them. They're good. But look, the money you got in. What, about $35?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ain't no way you're gonna get $35 for a top for a beehive.
You get a lot of money involved.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Years ago, when I first started out, I thought, you know, that we would do it. You know, that I wanted to do it just, you know, the way that the book said. Well, that book, most people print that book have got beehive companies.
Making money.
Making money. And I've learned, these migratory, you see this top here is what you call a migratory top.
Yeah.
It don't have size on it. The migratory people come up with that. The people that move bees, they came up with that so that their bees stack together a lot closer. When they put them on a truck,
right.
They stack closer. Their hives don't have landing boards, lids on the front of them. They don't have that on them, so they can load more of them on a tractor and trailer when they move them to California, see.
Okay.
And that's where that come from. All these pretty landing boards that we put on there, bees don't have to have it. It's nice. It looks pretty, you know, but they don't have to have it.
Takes longer to make it.
Yeah, and I've seen them going in trees where they went in underneath and fly upside down. There's a friend of mine in Mississippi down there. He tried it, but I think he's gonna see the error of his ways. He was setting his bees on these platforms like this right here,
yeah,
and didn't even have bottom boards on them. Didn't even use a bottom board. Had no bottom board on them whatsoever.
How does that keep skunks and things out?
Yeah, well, that's what I think. I think maybe he put a screen across the bottom of them or something, but he just, and I know it was, he tacked a 1/2-inch square screen off of it. He kept and what his thing was with Varroa. See, that's the thing with Varroa mites. With a screen bottom board, the screen bottom board will get rid of, suppose they say 25%. They just fall off, and that's what his ideal was. And he was right, but he kind of found out that the robbing, he had no protection for robbing and all that, you know, and he had you know, he'll be going back to putting a bottom board of sorts on them, you know, on them. But everybody's looking for a way to do just a little cheaper. Let's look at this. I'm gonna, 'cause right now what I'm seeing in the hives I looked at, that they're just now starting up. They're called one hive beetle, but that ain't one.
One there too.
Yeah, one hive beetle ain't much out of them. But like the ones I took off before I put these on there, some of them had 40 and 50 in them.
Really?
Yes.
That's just them little swifter pads you sweep the floor with.
Sweep the floor with, right.
I hear them humming down there.
Uh-huh.
Do you have a rack or something you put your pull frames out like that?
Do what now?
To set your frames? Or do you always set them right there like that?
What are you talking about?
When you pull out a frame?
Yeah, you got to have some place to put them at. And that's another good thing about these stands that I've got them on. I made them so that you can set a frame down there, you know, like that.
Right.
Because you set it on the ground. When I first started out, I'd set them on the ground. Next thing I know, I stepped on it, and you know, a lot of things can happen to them.
Right.
And you got to have some place to put them. See, here's a hive beetle. See that hive beetle?
Squish that little booger.
Where's he at? Where's that rascal at? I'll get him if I can find him. Gene carries. He's got a little old. There he is, right there. But you'll never catch that bastard.
I see the tail one in that one.
They're there. Yeah. You can't catch them. I can't.
They'll run them up on them swifter pads eventually, won't they?
They will.
There's a dead one right there.
I'm gonna try them swift. I got a bunch up there now. I just bought. I'm gonna try washing them and see if that won't make them even more fuzzier.
Okay.
Put them. I got me an old potato sack.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put them in that potato sack. Next time I wash my old dirty clothes, work clothes, I will.
Is that a queen cell?
That is a queen cell. Yeah, from last year.
Frame is plumb full of honey too.
I'm wanting to see some brood. They're all just up there eating honeys. All them guys are doing.
There's a lot of bees down in there.
Yeah, this is a pretty decent colony. They're just clustering is all they're doing. There's no brood. No brood in there.
Would they have more brood in the bottom board?
They probably are. That's where they started out at, in the bottom.
Would that generally where you need to start looking is the bottom board? Or?
Well, normally at this time of the year the bees are in the top, but this year they're not. They haven't. You know, I don't know what's up, but normally they're already in the top. And as you can see, they're moving that way. They're coming. They're coming that way, but they're just not there yet. And then another thing too, what you have here, is, see there, P, plastic. Put that in there. That's plastic foundation.
Right.
That I put them on. Notice how good that plastic, boy, how good them combs are.
Yeah.
Plastic foundation does draw out good combs if you feed them heavily and make them draw it out right. But I don't think that queen, given the choice between plastic or foundation or wax, she'll choose wax every time, or she will plastic.
Really?
But they will raise brood in plastic, because they do it, but given a choice, and like I say, the bees are kind of coming up in there, but the queen's not there yet.
Is there too much honey up in there for it to come?
Well, in a sense it is, because see, she can't do nothing there. That's packed.
So they would have to eat that before she could lay.
That's exactly right, yeah. And that's what's worrying me this year. I've been telling people about, you feed, but you want them to eat. You want them to eat that up, because that queen's got to have a place to lay.
Well, that'll take them several months to eat that much honey, wouldn't it?
If that bottom box if she gets to laying in that bottom box and gets it full of brood, no, it won't take them long, but it will slow them down.
Okay.
It will slow them down. And back in October, September, when you was feeding for this year, did you know that we was going to have 70-degree weather in January? And it could be 0 today.
Yeah, it should be in the 20s anyway.
Yeah, it could be in the 20s today, and stay that way for all this month. So therefore, they're going to need a lot more food then. And all you can do, the people that supposedly know, they'll tell you that top box should be full. Top box should be full of honey.
Okay.
Going in the winter. That's what it.
Well, now they're getting out. It's warm weather. They can move around more. Will it make them eat more? Burn more energy?
No. Well, the bees are probably going to eat, if they're carrying nectar out of the field, they're going to eat that nectar before they will this stuff here.
Okay.
They'll eat that nectar. This here is going to be stored for them to feed them young bees and stuff.
Okay.
And for them, but no, it's stored food, but they're gonna eat fresh food before they will stored food.
Okay.
That's what they'll eat first. Well, like I say, I may have a problem right here already. Looking at a problem, I may have fed too much last year.
Would you take some of the honey off of these?
How are you gonna do that? How are you gonna do it, and what are you gonna do with it? I can't feed that honey, that stuff that's in these combs here is not fit for human consumption.
Oh, it's not.
No, I couldn't take and extract it and do anything with it to get empty.
I mean, why would it not be no good?
Because first thing, it's not honey, it's corn syrup.
Oh, okay. Okay, what you fed them.
Yeah, that's what you fed them. Because up here in Washington County, there's not much of a fall flow